Hi, this is going to be a bit of a different video today in that I'm not going to make anything, or at least try to make anything. So I'm going to actually do a review of this Titan bandsaw. I've had quite a few questions about it from people that are interested. I got it from Screwfix. I think it's only available from Screwfix. It's one of their own brand products. So unfortunately it's only available in the UK that I'm aware of, so any of my subscribers elsewhere, you might not find this that useful, so apologies, but nonetheless it's a bandsaw review, so you might be interested. It's about £100 at the moment from Screwfix, so it's right at the budget end. I think it's actually the cheapest bandsaw that they do. A bandsaw is not something I tend to use all the time, but when I do, I need it to do what it's meant to. So I thought I'd show you around the bandsaw, try out a few different cuts, show you how it's performing and give my general thoughts. This is the bandsaw itself. It's got on-off switch there. Comes with a 1/4 inch blade, so about 12mm. The blade's 62 inches long, which I think is 1,575mm roughly. You can change the blades. I probably will put a slightly thicker blade in, or at least get a slightly thicker blade, so I can use it to resaw material. At the moment with the 1/4 inch blade it's for more fine cuts. A few different knobs on the side and the top. This one here completely releases the blade tension to change the blade. This knob on the top tightens and loosens the actual blade tension itself. I've got it quite tight at the moment. This knob here adjusts the blade tracking, so if it moves it forwards and backwards basically. These knobs here, you undo this one and then you can adjust the depth of kind of the throat. I'll put some information on the screen in a minute in terms of what the max cutting capacity is, because I don't have it to hand. It's got an aluminium tabletop and it came with quite a few different accessories. It came with this, which is basically a stand to go down on the legs, which I will show you in a second. It came with this reasonable push stick, pretty flimsy mitre gauge, which I have to say I've never used, and this fence. I'll fit the fence in a minute and give you my thoughts on that. So I talked about the stand that kind of extends it. I've got my bandsaw bolted to the bandsaw stand that I made in a previous video. I'll put a link up. But these feet kind of go in here. You tighten these screws and it makes it a bit more sturdy. Because it's bolted to my bandsaw stand, I don't actually need it. Underneath the saw, it's got a dust extraction port, which is about 50mm or 2 inch, and it's got a mechanism for adjusting the angle of the table, which can go from 0 to 45 degrees. I don't tend to cut anything on too much of an angle, so I've left it well alone at 0 degrees. So the mitre gauge just slides in there like that and adjust it. I haven't checked its accuracy. I probably should, but to be fair, it's pretty sturdy. There's no real play in it, so it's reasonable. The fence now, basically just clamps on or slides on, and then it's got a little knob at the end that you just turn this on really tightly. Just tighten that, and then there's quite a lot of play in it. Probably you can tighten it once it's on, but because it only uses tension from both ends, it can move about. If you put too much pressure on it, it will move. As I say, it's a budget tool, so expect a budget fence. I might build something in the future that's a bit more sturdy, but let's fire it up with the fence on and see what sort of straight cut it gives. So I'm conscious that you don't always use a bandsaw for the straightest of cuts. That's what a table saw is for, but you never know. So let's give it a go and see what sort of cut we get off it. Just doing a kind of straight cut. You'd also need to use it for resawing, so I'll try and see what we can get out of this. So that's a true 90 degrees. Let's lower this down. I'm not going to cut anything thick, just a bit of 18mm ply. And we'll see how we get on. So that's the piece we cut. It's quite a decent edge. Again, I wouldn't generally use a bandsaw for this, but nonetheless it's not bad. It's not the straightest because there is a bit of play in the fence no matter how much you tighten it down, so I wouldn't say I'd use the fence all the time. We'll do a few more cuts with this 18mm ply. Nice smooth cut. Do quite tight radiuses with it, or radii, I don't know what the word is, but for the money I don't think that's a bad finish. We'll give the saw a bit more of a test now. This is 40mm oak from an old bit of oak worktop, so let's see how this copes. So I think it's fair to say that coped quite well. Got some decent curves in there. So that's 40mm oak. And finally we'll check out pretty much the maximum depth of cut. This is 80mm or 8 centimeters. So look, this it's about as high as it'll go. So it's probably 85mm depth. Again, quite a nice clean cut. It's only pine, but good enough for me. So there's a few of the things I've cut on it just as a little test. I think it's fair to say for £100 it's performed pretty well. As I showed, the fence is probably the thing that lets it down the most, but I don't tend to use it for that sort of thing normally. It's more for cutting radii or curved shapes, so for that I think it's fair to say it performs really well. So that's the end of the video and the review. I think it's fair to say I'd give this machine a thumbs up. As I say, it's £100, so it is at the budget end of the bandsaw category, but it comes with a 2-year guarantee, so if it breaks within a year, you can take it back and get another one. And I have to say, Screwfix are very good at honouring the guarantees. The only thing I'd want to improve is the fence, but for a £100 budget machine I don't think you can complain too much that the fence is a bit flimsy. I use it for cutting curves and radii, and it does that admirably. I've shown with the thick materials that I've cut. So I hope you found this review and video useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please give me your thoughts on the bandsaw and the video itself, because this is the first one of these I've made apart from the unboxing of the Bosch saw. If you're interested in any of my other videos, I'll put up a link here. And also, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. You can subscribe down here. Hopefully see you again soon.